The last week of trading was actually pretty intense because I'm used to open like 1.5 trades per week on average, and I had to open 5 this week. So for me, it was pretty intense. Right now, you are looking at my dashboard on FTMO, and you can see my 2 funded accounts. And now we'll show you individually how each of them performed this week. So starting off with the intraday account, as you can see, on Monday I had 2 trades that went to stop loss. And as soon as we get into the charts, I will show you the trades. But then for the rest of the week, I didn't open any trade on the intraday account. Talking about the swing trading account, you can see that I had 2 trades that basically were break-evens, one on Tuesday and the other on Wednesday. But I have another trade which is still running. As you can see, I have a short on GBP/USD, which is currently in profit. So now that I showed you my situation on the funded accounts, we'll go into the charts and I'll review the price action and the trades that I took. Okay, so I will start on Dixie because my analysis usually starts from Dixie. This was Monday's daily candle. And as you can see, after closing above the monthly levels that let me show you. Yeah, as you can see, there was this monthly inversion fair value gap. And last week we closed above it, and Monday started with a retest of this inversion fair value gap on the monthly. So the thing is, when I first saw this, I didn't know if it was just a retest or maybe a reversal and maybe price action wasn't clean. So that's the reason why I looked for the shorts on USD CAD. As you can see, at the end of London Open, price retraced back into this 1 hour fair value gap. My idea was that price wanted to reach this level, which corresponded to a daily fair value gap. Yes, as you can see, this is the level I highlighted on the lower time frames. So my idea was that price entered here, made this candle, I entered and I got stopped after not much. But then I saw that price reformed the setup, so I re-entered again, and this is part of my strategy because I am allowed to open 2 trades per trade idea. So when I saw that here formed another setup, I was already out for the day and I didn't even think about opening this trade because, as you can see, price action closed above the 1 hour fair value gap, then came back down. It's not something that I like to see. If my trade idea was right, it should have gone in my direction with either one of these setups. But what happened then? Because as I said, I opened many trades this week. So let's talk about the trades I opened on the swing account, because the first one was actually right after these 2 trades on Euro USD. And yes, it doesn't look great right now because of course it reached almost 3 hours, but I'm gonna explain. So the thing is, the level you see right there, it should be, I found it, a weekly inversion fair value gap. And as I said, after understanding that Dixie was just retesting its monthly inversion fair value gap, I understood this level was to be retested and respected. So once I saw this retest, I immediately looked on the 4-hour time frame for this kind of setup. And honestly, it was really good. It was a really good setup. I really liked this price action, but I had to close the trade at break even. And you might ask why. The reason is that, as you can see, I opened the trade on Monday at 1 p.m. and then I closed it right here at 1 a.m. the next day because CPI was due. And by looking at this price action that took the low during London Open and then started to go up, I knew that during CPI, so in this candle, price would have been at break even, best case scenario, if not in drawdown, okay? And during CPI, FOMC, NFP, these really high impact news, I don't like to be in a trade because I don't like to be in a trade where price is at break even or in drawdown, because I saw many times that price can easily jump to my stop loss and slip me a lot. So I want to avoid that, especially trading prop firms. So I had to close the trade. In the end, it would have gone well. CPI didn't impact and matched price action. Sometimes it's life, it's part of the job, it's okay. The important thing is to manage risk correctly and trade accordingly with your rules. But let's jump to the next trade because it was the same day of CPI, Tuesday, and it was on USD CHF. Again, you can see the trade reached 2 hours, but I closed it at break even. And some of you might have already guessed why. But yeah, after CPI, as you can see, I opened the trade right here because it closed above the previous candle's high and stop loss was here. The context was that on the daily time frame, there was this fair value gap, which price reacted from. CPI was passed. I thought, well, let's enter the trade. And it went well for the first part, for the first 12 hours. It took this swing high and then started to retrace. And as you can see, the difference is really small. Like on MetaTrader, there were almost 3 pipettes. Well, yeah, I mean, there's nothing much to say. In my rules, when the structure is broken and the trade is going well, I trail my stop loss to break even, because if you look at the daily candle, of course, right now it looks kind of great, but imagine like this candle being live with the body right here after taking this high. It was likely to be reaching for this low, okay, where I had my stop loss. So I couldn't have known that this was the perfect reversal point, even though there was this daily fair value gap. So maybe I could have anticipated that. But anyway, I traded accordingly with my rules, and I think I managed this trade in the right way, even though I got unlucky, because let me tell you, I managed a lot of trades in the same way and they didn't behave like this. I think that price action in Forex right now is not actually clean, so I'm happy with that. And now let's jump to the last trade, the one that is still running, which is on GBP USD. Okay, so after the candle that stopped me on USD CHF, I saw the reaction that Forex had in general, and I noticed that GBP USD had this daily fair value gap from a couple days earlier, and actually price gave a setup right here, but I didn't take it because I had other trades, as you saw. But right at that moment I noticed that price was exactly at the same level, so I thought, well, maybe right now it's the last opportunity I have before price starts to actually run. So I decided to enter, and I didn't really like the idea because GBP USD right now it's stronger than Euro or CHF, so it might have some problems going lower following the bullishness on Dixie. But it was the last opportunity I had because both Euro and CHF were far from their entries. So I kinda hope that in the end GBP would accelerate, because if you look at the daily chart, of course this would be drawn liquidities for price action. But if we have a look at Euro USD, you can see that the same lows are much closer. So I think that if Euro will actually reach these levels, GBP might reach around this area, unless there is an inversion of power between Euro and GBP, so that GBP accelerates to the downside. At the moment, yeah, trade is at 0.8, but at the lowest level would be almost 7. I believe that if price reaches, like, I want to take a partial once Euro takes the relative levels right here. Eventually I can either take a partial or close the trade entirely when Euro or Dixie take these relative levels. Or if GBP was to accelerate, I might take a partial somewhere around here and then close the trade there, because I don't think price will expand much lower than this. Overall, I'm happy because I traded well, meaning that I followed my rules, I respected my trading plan. And right now I have a trade which is open and running in profits. So even though I lost $2,000 in one day on the intraday account, on the swing account I have a trade which I think will make me profits. But we'll see. Maybe I'm wrong and maybe this trade will completely reverse and make me lose money. For next week I expect continuation on Dixie, meaning that it will go higher. I didn't talk about precious metals because I didn't trade them this week. Obviously there are opportunities on the lower time frames, but I don't trade them. So for me there were not any opportunity on metals. But in terms of bias for gold and silver, honestly I don't know, because they are so parabolic that at any moment they can just crash down like 5%, and they can do that for several days in a row, or they can just continue to go higher. So right now it's a delicate moment for metals. I think that it's not easy to trade them swing and that you should focus trading them intraday. But that's it for this week. So I hope you liked this video. In case, please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.